Hell on earth. I'm living in hell. What does this mean, in my opinion? Well, I can say I've lived in hell before. I can say I have certain aspects of my life that is currently hell. And I feel like a lot of people think hell just means fiery flames, Satan, underworld, and zombies and skulls and things like that. But what really is hell? I got some notes here for it. Living, first of all, let's just say if you're living without peace and purpose, you're living in hell ultimately. If you don't have something that gives you fulfillment, gives you joy, gives you a sense of belonging, a sense of being, a feeling of I'm on this earth for a reason. I have something to do. I have a mission, and trying to find peace of I'm at peace with myself. I'm at peace with my life, with my reality. I am living in hell. If I'm waking up and just going to a job that I don't want to go to, that I'm not comfortable, that I'm not happy, that I'm not satisfied, that is draining my soul, that is hell. If I'm around people that are taking my energy that I know I should not be around, that are not doing anything positive for my life, that is hell. Everything and anything can be hell when you look at it from a new, open perspective. I mean, as well as addictions, self destruction, harming yourself keeps you in hell, right? Abusing alcohol, abusing drugs, smoking to cope with pain, self harming yourself is hell. That is keeping you tied to an entity of yourself that you don't want to be tied to. I mean, if I just wake up, go to work, come home, drink, smoke, to deal with my pain, to run away from reality, to escape the matrix, that is just being in hell. That is not living life. That is nothing close to being alive. Like, yes, you are physically alive, but you are mentally and emotionally scarred too deep where you're dead. I mean, if you have habits that slow you down, that are hurting you, that are killing you, you're keeping yourself in hell. If you are feeling empty inside, you are not living. How do I put this? If you are not living, you are in hell. That's simply the best way to put it. If you are not living, you are in hell. And living does not just mean being out here sleeping with a bunch of women, being out here having a bunch of cars, living in a penthouse, waking up, going to a 5-star restaurant, and then going on a yacht. Yes, that's a version of living, if that's your version. But living is just being alive. Emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, intellectually, just feeling yourself, knowing who you are, just being on this earth for a reason, and not just waking up every day going through a cycle just waiting for it to end. If you are currently just waiting for the day where your life is over because you're tired of this, that is living in hell. But if you're going through life and you're like, man, I'm making the most out of every day. I don't know when my time is going to come, but I don't need that time to be anytime soon because I have things that I need to get done. Then you are living. You are absolutely living, right? Your environmental and societal factors can play. If you're in the wrong household, around the wrong people, your family could be keeping you in hell. Your friends could be keeping you in hell, like I said. Your job, your certain city can be keeping you in hell. That's why I feel like every time I've been outside of my hometown, I felt alive. I felt great. I felt a new energy. A lot of people will tell you, like, oh, get out your hometown. When I moved, everything changed. It's because they were tied down in chains to hell where they were. And when they got away, they broke those chains and are living free. So you need to get away from, a lot of that trauma, pain, that constant danger and fear that's keeping you in hell, right? Being around bitterness, hatred, resentment, all these negative emotions, that is hell. That is the enemy that is keeping you down, right? Carrying that is like carrying poison around you. It's like you're just sipping poison, just taking a itsy bitsy sip every so often, and you're slowly just ending it. Like, that is just living in hell. A lot of people looking around are just living in hell, right? They just hate life, hate everything. They just carry this dreadful demeanor, energy to them, where they just drag it around everywhere. And you know what I mean? Like, you can feel it. I can feel it. I can sense it. I can smell it. I can just feel that it's in the atmosphere as soon as it comes around. This energy of just people just being in hell. And I'm looking around. It's rough. I get it. This economy sucks. It's hard to afford living. Food's expensive. Gas is high as it's ever been. Right. A lot of people are crashing out. A lot of people are bending over. A lot of people are going through things, and it's not easy. Right. Everyone is just in a hard mental state and physical state. But again, it's not even just about materials. You don't need all the money in the world to not be living in hell. You don't need cool clothes. You don't need a fancy lifestyle. You just need to find yourself. You need to find your purpose. You need to find your sense of being. You need to find what brings you joy. You need to find what you want out of life. Find like what makes you feel good about being on this earth, being alive. Because if anything or anyone or just any feelings are making you feel like you just don't want to be alive, you just don't want to be here, you're just dreading, you're just soul sucked, that is hell. That is keeping you in hell. So again, hell isn't just like some underground fiery burning place where you just go after death. Hell is literally just entrapment. I feel like that's the best way I could put it. Hell is entrapment. And you gotta ask yourself, I'm asking myself right now, what is keeping me entrapped? What certain people, places, or things, what certain triggers, what do I need to do? What am I not doing that's keeping me in hell? Like, why am I not getting myself out of this hell? What is really holding me back? I mean, that's what I have to ask myself. What is really holding me back? Is it just not wanting more? Is it laziness? Is it not having a sense of guidance, not knowing where to go? Is it, family, friends? What is it that's holding me back? What is keeping me entrapped? I mean, again, like I said, many religious traditions describe hell on earth as separation from God, or a certain state like nirvana, or whatever your religion may say, right? That is like how it's described as living in hell on earth, right? And just for example, right, I follow Christianity to some degree, and in Christianity, for example, some view it as experiencing the consequences of sin and living apart from God's consequence, right? Let's talk about this concept of sin. This isn't a religious sermon. Whether you believe this or that, it does not matter. We're all alive. We're all people. We're all united. We're all one. That doesn't matter, right? But let's talk about this concept of sin really quick. I want to get into this of what is sin. Obviously, it's being departed from God. It's doing things that are not of God. Unrighteous acts, right? But let's take it away from religion for a sec. Sin correlates to living in hell on earth, right? Sin correlates to not getting to where you want to be in life, right? Because let's just look at sin as things that hold you back from becoming on your highest frequency, right? Because again, we're not looking at a religious standpoint, but what are some sins? Greed, pride, lust. A lot of these things can keep me tied to the person that I'm trying to get away from, and keep me from becoming my highest version of myself, and that can keep me in hell and entrapment. So that it kind of has a point in a lot of these religions of you need to get away from certain things to get away from entrapment, to reach a certain state, which in this case is getting out of hell, which would be getting to a point in life where you feel good about life. Again, just to circle back getting to a point in life where you feel good about life. You feel good about who you are. You feel good about what you're doing. You feel good about where you're going. Everything just feels how it's supposed to in life. And we're not feeling these dreadful emotions of anger, of depression, of anxiety, of fear, so many different things, right? And again, we're all going through it. I'm seeing it everywhere. Everyone's going through it. It's just a hard spot in life right now, just for everyone, especially since after 2020 and COVID, everything has just been kind of on the downhill, I feel. But I mean, there's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. There's always a chance. And I don't know about anyone else, but I don't want to live in hell. I don't want to live a life not worth living. I want to leave a legacy. I want to be somebody, and I want to feel good about that person that I become. And I want to do great things. And I just gotta, again, ask myself, what's really holding you back? What is it that's stopping you from breaking the chains, from leaving that entrapment, from being the highest version of yourself? Because that is what I'm chasing, is the highest version of myself. That's what I'm trying to do, is become better on the daily. I'm trying to get more than just 1% better daily. I'm trying to get 2, 3, 4, 5%. I'm trying to really push to become the best, because like I said, you never know when your time is coming. And I don't want to see a day where I don't become that best version of myself, and where other people don't get to see me become that best version of myself. So I'm really pushing. I'm really making a stretch. And, I don't want to sit here and yap too much. I kind of went in circles a lot with speaking to myself with this. But again, if I had to tie it all back up and conclude this kind of yap sermon, is being in hell on earth is living a life that you don't want to live, that you're not comfortable with, that you're not happy with, and feeling like you're tied down in chains. And you need to break those chains and get away from that. Find a sense of belonging, find purpose, find why you are on this earth, find things that make you happy, and get out of these negative emotions and be the best you.